Race night 3. Starting to get tired. Look at Derek sweeping the floor already. Last night's right rear tire might be done. I don't think that's worth flipping. We're gonna change some oils today. We definitely got to mount up some new tires. And I had rear brakes that were getting really hot, so we're gonna look those over, scuff the pads really well, maybe put new pads in if we need to. I think they were just getting hot because I was riding the crap out of them. Keeping the car at attitude, but gotta do what you gotta do. Super Carbon. We had a wicked stumble on the starts and restarts last night. So I got my carburetor guy here. He's gonna figure this out for me.
Allegedly.
And plus I'll message Vic. Oh, you were supposed to stay in your chair. Here comes the airplane. Don't burn yourself. No homo. And cheaper women. Oiling. Tire shopping. Getting ready to go here. Onyx starts 4th in his heat race, and I start 6th in mine. There is passing points, so if we can move up a couple of spots, that helps us out a bunch.
Zach Johnson in car number 73 will start in position 6. He's out of Lowry, Minnesota.
Green flags in the air, and we are underway.
Got a good start as Eisenschenk trying to rip around the high side. Cole Schill, the 4-star, is your leader, but here comes the 73, Zach Johnson. He was on the podium last night, finished 3rd. Now he's going to run 2nd as we got 1 lap in the books.
Yeah, Zach Johnson moved to that 2nd spot, picked off about 4 spots off of turn number 2 that last time by. Now his sights set on the 44, Cole Schill. Schill with a slight advantage as Johnson's going to drive to the inside of him, this time in turns 3 and 4. Schill, though, able to hang on to it for the moment. They're side by side at the line.
Man, Zach Johnson not giving up whatsoever. 2016 was Soda 100 late model winner. As Zach Johnson goes to the inside, we may have a new race leader here for the 3rd circuit. As we're just almost to that halfway mark, Zach Johnson to the point.
Zach Johnson leads the field into turn number 1 as Cole Schill still fighting back on the outside. Now Johnson will be able to finally clear that 44 Schill. Schill, though, going to look down the inside, playing a little peekaboo with your race leader of Johnson as Schill looks to the inside now. Side by side off at turn number 4. Give the advantage to Johnson. Zach Johnson will win heat race number 2 for your late models.
Okay, well that'll do. We're gonna go see what Onyx does now. Did you gun the tires at all?
Yeah, 140, 145.
Really? That even? It feels snug, but as long as I got the right front buried, I don't have any trouble turning.
It didn't look snug in 1 and 2 on that rim. You look pretty comfortable up there.
Yeah, it feels, it's comfortable everywhere. I mean, yeah, everywhere. Maybe a hair, I was gonna say a hair snug on entry, but I think it's just the way I'm driving into 3 trying to keep the car straight.
Ricky ran pretty much the same line you did on this end of the track, and he came up and sat by me. He said there was a lot coming into 3 if you could catch it right.
Yep, you had to slow down enough on it.
Yeah, he looked really good down there on that end.
There's Jess Brecky for those of you watching it on Speed Sport TV. Green flag is out, 8 laps, heat number 2.
And James Trantino III will lead the field into turn number 1. Off turn number 2, following Jess Brecky right there in that 13 machine, working his way around the racetrack here, trying to pick up some ground as Trantino will lead off of turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1 of this 2nd heat race of the night for your limited mods.
Onyx Johnson looking pretty good in the 73, making it a 3-car breakaway, or trying to be a 3-car breakaway, is Pace Herrera under fire for second. But it's one of those deals. Pace Herrera is right there, almost in the clutches of Onyx Johnson. The opportunity to move in a second. Looked like Herrera might have went up over the cushion just a tad, and that slowed him down enough for Onyx Johnson to try and bid for second.
Yeah, Pace Herrera almost got into the retaining wall off of turn number 4 as here comes Onyx Johnson down to the inside of Herrera. He's going to throw the slide job on him. Jess Brecky, though, he's going to work it all the way down the bottom, pick up a 2 for 1. So Brecky from 4th to 2nd in that 13B. And that's 8 to 2nd overall. Good passing points for the 13 of Brecky. If we had a rear bumper camera on the back of that Trantina car, you'd see some great racing action behind him. Right now, he just sees clear racetrack, and he comes off of turn number 4. He'll see a checkered flag. James Trantina III will win heat race number 2 for limited mods, followed by Jess Brecky, the 13B, the 711 of Pace Herrera. Onyx Johnson and Tyler Doel come home in 4th and 5th.
What was the left?
20.
So there's 10?
Max 138.
I wasn't expecting to get crossed over by the car I didn't even fly.
Right. That was a really, really good slider. That was a good move. It just happened to be timed like right when Brecky got there.
Yeah,
and it worked for
I was
him.
really confused to see I slid the 7-Eleven and then I was getting crossed up
And then
by
there's, I know, and then it was 3 wide. But that was a really good move, dude. That was a really good drive. You ran that race really well.
The fans had to like that.
Yeah, that was a fun race.
You ran a really good race.
Our neighbor's just quick. He was fast. He slowly reeled you in, and the second he got there was when you pulled that slider.
I kept being held up by, I could have driven way harder in 1 and 2 without that.
Without it, I know. I could see that.
Every time he'd hit center, he'd get all goofy and squirrely.
Right. No, you did exactly. I mean, I don't think there was a single move you made that would have been different from what I would have done.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get crossed over by him at all. I was...
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Onyx had an average heat, did really well. Late model went from 6th to 1st. That's going to put us on the pole. So we worked our tires over really good. We did not make any setup changes other than we are bolting on a new left rear just because we didn't like the look of that one. Topped it off with fuel. It's a 30-lap race tonight. We're starting on the pin, on the pole next to Stuckey. We got Ricky Weiss right behind us. So we got some company up there. It's not going to be an easy race. 30 laps, 2,500 to win, I believe. Time to cowboy up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Central Arizona Raceway, it is time to get up on your feet as we go 4 wide for you. Let's send them off with a payoff. This is your late model A main event. Let them hear ya. The 15S, they knew that he was fast, and obviously he showed it. But Zach Johnson, I think, give credit where credit's due to the 73. This is a chance for the Lowry, Minnesota driver to shine here. This is going to be a fun feature to watch. 30 laps in distance here on the 3/8 mile they call Central Arizona Raceway, our 3rd race of the week. For the late models, we've yet to have a repeat winner. The driver that is the closest as far as proximity towards the front is the guy that starts on the outside, and he did it last night. We'll see if we can make it 2 in a row. That's Clay Stuckey as they come out of the DRD graphics restart zone. Green flag is out. This one is underway.
And it's going to be Stuckey and Johnson side by side, lockstep through turns 1 and 2 as Ricky Wise cleared Dylan Thornton for the 3rd spot. Now Thornton, though, fighting back on the outside. Top 2 rows breaking away from Carl Tipton, number 74, Carl Trimmer throwback, as Weiss now looks to the inside of Stuckey. Johnson will lead lap number 1.
Zach Johnson trying to create some separation, but Ricky Weiss rolling the bottom at car number 7. He's up to 2nd. He's dispatched Clay Stuckey.
Yeah, definitely right now clear racetrack up ahead for Zach Johnson, but for how long as he is starting to reel in. The backside of this field here is 5 laps are in the books, 25 to go. And tonight's 30-lap main event is Johnson out front, followed by Ricky Weiss, Clay Stuckey, Dylan Thornton, and Carl Tipton right now your top 5. Your race leader, Zach Johnson. is about 1 lap away from catching the tail end of the field and starting to battle lap traffic, and he's already spread his legs and his wings over the 7 machine of Ricky Weiss.
1.596 seconds was the differential. It's actually grown to 1.722. Here's the ultimate test, though, as he's gotten into some lap traffic, dealing with the 11 of Blaine Doppler to put him a lap down. Now he's really going to have to move around the racetrack. He's got just ahead of him a 79 of Jaden Christ and Rusty Coleman in car number 2.
Yeah, Zach Johnson, a little bit of a bobble that time, getting into turn number 1 behind Jaden Christ. And so he'll go topside on Christ. Ricky Weiss, he's closed the gap from 1.7 to 1.1 seconds, as now Ricky Weiss starting to work over Doppler and Christ. Put those drivers 1 lap down, so 2 lap cars in between your race leaders right now.
No lap traffic between the top 2. We may have a battle for the race lead starting to shape up.
Yeah, it's 0.7 seconds right now. Ricky Weiss starting to reel in Zach Johnson as Johnson trying to work his way around some more of the lap traffic. He'll get around 1 car, but Ricky Weiss will follow suit on the top side of the racetrack. Johnson going to drop it down low. Ricky Weiss, he'll follow the tire tracks of that 73 car as the race heats up now as we're halfway through tonight's main event.
Great race out in front as the 73X is next in line to go down the laps. That is Larry Fitzsimmons, and not just the 73X. They've got Lyndon Bolt in car number 3X, as well as Tomas Hunziker also. As we hit the halfway mark, 15 down, 15 to go this time by. It's going to be 16 laps complete and 14 remaining, and it is still no lap traffic between positions 1 and 2. There's 2 lap cars between 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, Zach Johnson trying to find a way to navigate around these cars right now. He's been low, he's been high. Ricky Weiss, he's been using more of that middle groove all the way around the racetrack, as now Johnson finally able to work his way down to the inside of the 73X of Fitzsimmons and put him 1 lap down.
Ricky Weiss quickly getting around Fitzsimmons. He knows he can't waste any sort of time. 3 lap cars between 2nd and 3rd. Dylan Thornton is running in position number 4. It is still Carl Tipton with a marvelous run in 5th. Johnson is going to have to deal with, oh boy, slowing 78S of Steve Stoltz and the 38 of Tomas Hunziker. And here comes Weiss trying to go in for the kill.
Yeah, Bluer's a little contact made as Ricky Weiss now looking to go in for the kill here, as the yellow flag will fly. 1 car slow on the front straightaway. I believe that's the reason for our yellow flag.
Matt Gilbertson. Delaware double file restart upcoming with 12 laps to go. Green flag is going to wave as they exit corner number 4, Jason. This one is back underway.
Back underway as Zach Johnson continues to show the way. Ricky Weiss trying to get around Clay Stuckey as Carl Tipton goes around in turn number 1. More cars involved as well. About 3, 4, 5 cars now come to a stop at the end of turn number 2, and Carl Tipton, we're just talking about him, running in that 5th position, spins around and brings out the yellow flag. As the wheeling caution lights are out, DRD graphics restart zone, the cars come to life once more. 12 laps remain in tonight's 30-lap main event, and Zach Johnson will drive away off of turn number 2 as Stuckey gets a great jump. He'll pull ahead of Ricky Weiss for 2nd as Weiss fight back on the inside. Now will go high.
Less than 10 laps to go. It's actually going to be 8 laps to go this time by, and it's been all Zach Johnson, and he was spreading heavily in lap traffic, and he's going to start to see the tail end of the lead lap field here pretty shortly. We may have some lap traffic thrown in the mix late, but he does have a nice cushion of nearly 2 full seconds of an advantage ahead of your current runner-up, Clay Stuckey.
But he has caught the tail end of the field here with 5 laps to go, and they are duking it out side by side just ahead of your race leader. So we'll see what happens here. Last time he was navigating through lap traffic, Ricky Weiss cut a 1.5-second lead down to 2 car lengths. Can Clay Stuckey do the same here as we have 4 laps to go?
This is going to get very interesting very fast on a Saturday night here in the big house. Blaine Doppler in the 11 is the car that the 73 of Johnson going to have to work with. He can't clear the 11 just quite yet on the inside. Trying to re-strategize. That is going to allow the 15S and the 7, as well as the 38T. Stuckey, Weiss, and Thornton, they are starting to catch up some lost ground big time.
Yeah, that last lap, Doppler kind of slammed the door on your race leader as the 2-second lead is now down to just under a second. Clay Stuckey now working the inside of Doppler, who slams the door on that 2nd place runner. Stuckey, here comes Ricky Weiss and Dylan Thornton in the picture as well. Zach Johnson now getting around Maria Hankins once again. 1 lap car in between your race leaders has the white flag. Get ready to fly here at Central Arizona Raceway.
Zach Johnson has just 4 corners separating him from victory lane here in the 3rd Mincy Memorial Early Thaw Series. Clay Stuckey trying to give it his all as he's pedaling hard on this final circuit. Zach Johnson as Rusty Coleman just up the road in car number 2. Looks like not going to be a factor as Zach Johnson, a huge victory for the number 73 out of Lowry, Minnesota, will win here tonight at Central Arizona Raceway. Send it down to Jason Carter to grab a word with tonight's feature winner, Zach Johnson.
Well, down here in a victory lane, Zach Johnson getting ready to cut her off. He'll do that down. He'll climb out of the car. Race fans, put your hands together for night number 3. Ernie Mincy Early Thaw Late Model Main Event winner, Zach Johnson. Zach rolls over, gets a fist bump. Well, Zach, you have that Longhorn chassis humming, man. You've been fast all week long. Finally tonight, able to put it all together, win tonight's main event.
I'm out of breath, man. This car was good. I know I got lucky there with Ricky getting around me in lap traffic, man. He outsmarted me there, to be honest. I thought I had a little bit of room, and I thought I could move around some, and he bombed it in there when those guys got too wide in front of me, and I made the mistake of going up too high, and I slipped out of the rubber, and this car was fast. I got lucky, but this thing was honking too. I mean, I can't thank my guys enough. I mean, Derek and Onyx and Alex and the guys back home and the sponsors, and you know, I bought this car through Mike Marler. He's been helping me out so much, and Vic Hill built us a killer engine. This is my first week running this thing. We picked it up on the way here, and it's just been awesome.
Hey, man, they look great here tonight. A little trouble there late in the race, getting around some more of those lap cars. Clay Stuckey, he was coming, but you're at the end, you're able to hold it off. I know you got a lot of people like to thank, too.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many people to thank. We'd be here all night, but you guys can see the names on the car here. I mean, we got so many sponsors that help out with this thing, and it's so fun to be here and be a part of this, and this place is just fast, and it's fun, and it's a great way to get out of Minnesota winters.
Ain't that the truth? Y'all give it up one more time for tonight's late model main event winner, Zach Johnson, brings it home on night number 3 of the Ernie Mincy Early Thaw.
We'll take that. Let's see what Onyx can do. I'm still down here in the pits. We're all teched. We're all good. That's my first late model win in 7 to 8 years, something like that. So let's see what Onyx has got here. He's starting 10th. I tightened him up a little bit. He's going to have a little more drive. That might make him a little tight for a few laps here because they just put some water on the track. There you go. Not hitting the chip at all, is he? No. Track gets slower here. He might need that other set of gears. All right, he's up a couple spots into 8th right now, just a few laps in. We got to restart. I think he needs those other gears so he can get off the bottom. Yeah. Good race, and he's not with slouches. Those are all good cars he's with.
top three were just running away. There's Onyx in 7th. Not a bad run. He's a 19.0. He turned the fastest lap. 19.07. 19.
One to go, he was the fastest. Last lap, he was the second fastest.
He's cooking once he got that rhythm going. Atta boy. Our new tires are wrecked again.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I'm not that upset about it.
Igor just said his beverage was pretty bus.
Pretty
know what bus means.
Pretty bus?
Now
This
I
is
want-
like
What is that? It looks awesome.
it's a bus.
strawberry lemonade refresher thingy. I don't know.
Cow.
Now I think.
Did you only get one of them?
Anymore.
Do you want one?
Yeah.
Well, that's a dumb question.
I just paid $20 for a cheeseburger.
This
Somebody
was
go get me one of them.
$8.